God of War tells the tale of a father and son who share an uncomfortable silence-filled trip up a mountain in order to scatter Kratos' wife's ashes. And trust me, there are easier ways to rid yourself of a woman's body if you need to. In God of War, we find a protagonist that I can finally relate to. We both have rage issues, a complicated, dark past, and figure the best way to solve our problems is with a large axe. Following on from the murderous rampage through the Greek pantheon, a big theme of this game is being a better person than you used to be. And the Ghost of Sparta shows this by only killing, let me check my notes, 12 characters? So Ollie, have you played God of War 2018 in brackets?
Boy.
Sounds like you have.
I have actually, but I haven't finished it. I've only played about between 1 and 2 hours worth. It's not because I didn't like it or anything, it's just because that is really indicative of my personality and that I...
and the amount of time you haven't.
I just didn't carry on with it. Did enjoy it though, the bit that I played.
Well, I'm going to do something out of the ordinary, and I'm going to put my recommendation right up front. And I'm going to say that this game and Ragnarok, two of the best games of all time. If people listening haven't played them already, stop this video. Well, leave it on mute, for the algorithm. let it finish. Get through the whole thing, and like and subscribe, obviously, and start playing these games. I don't think there's any heavy spoilers in this reviews. That's not something I do, so I won't ruin it. But it's best to play these games, I think, with no knowledge in the bank whatsoever. So that's out of the way, we'll go into the story. You are Kratos, a demigod from Sparta who spent his younger years basically running through Greece, both sexually and aggressively. And now you've moved to Midgard and become a mellow fellow. Your wife has just died, and now it's time for you and your son Atreus to complete the quest to spread the ashes from the tallest peak in all the realms. Like a father-son relationship from the 1940s, Kratos and Atreus don't really click, and Kratos doesn't think Atreus is ready to make the journey. However, after a mysterious stranger attacks your home and reveals the defensive magic that had been shielding you all these years is now gone, it's time to make that journey. And then it becomes Kratos and Atreus on this perilous trip through the 9 realms, meeting enemies and allies, and basically growing as father and son unit. The gameplay is a massive change from the original trilogy, and it parallels Kratos' development over the games. The original games were more fast-paced and aggressive, focused heavily on combos and style. The modern games are slower and more deliberate, focusing more on defense and discipline. The original games felt like they had more platforming, where this game is more puzzle-based. The camera also changes with the games. The original had a fixed camera, whereas the Norse saga is a third person over the shoulder being done in a kind of single shot, which I do like. First and foremost, the story in this game is truly and unequivocally sensational. I think there's always that air in that video games aren't the correct medium to tell a good story when compared to kind of films and books, which we obviously know is bollocks. But this game completely demolishes if there was any truth to that. This game is possibly the best story that I've ever played, only maybe matched by Red Dead 2. I won't go into too much detail about it because I don't really want to spoil anything for people who haven't played, and obviously people that have played know the story anyway. I think it needs to be experienced fully firsthand. But I guess the main theme for this game is parent and child relationships. There's the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, obviously, which grows as the game goes on. And then there's kind of the other two parent and child relationships in the game, which obviously I don't want to say the names of those parent and child relationships because it might spoil things, especially one of them. But I think those two parent and child relationships are supposed to show Kratos and you, the player, what he and Atreus can end up like if you follow the same path that they did. It's kind of nice in that way. You get to see what could be, and I think it helps Kratos treat Atreus a bit better. Yeah, so the story progresses in terms of your mission to scatter your wife's ashes and visit all the different realms, seeing what's going on there. But the real meat of the game is the complexities of the relationships between all these overlapping characters and discovering who they are, what they want, their histories, all while the relationship between Kratos and Atreus grows. The game helped me a lot with fatherhood personally. I never wanted to be a dad. I don't have a natural paternal nature, so I'm much like Kratos. So I was quite shocked when I was handed a baby one day as a result of failed birth control after a one-night stand. I played the game when my son was 2, and it sort of helped guide me on how I could open up my sort of generally cold and disciplined nature to being more accommodating as a parent. It were a nice view into what fatherhood could be for people who are more like me, sort of less empathetic, more cold, aloof, disciplined. The other big thing to talk about is the gameplay. I really like the original trilogy's gameplay because it suits my all aggression, no defense style of playing games. So I was kind of skeptical coming into this that I'd gel with the style. I played this before, really gotten into games like Dark Souls and stuff, where the patient, more disciplined gameplay is rewarded. But having said all that, I do love this newer style of combat, and it's honestly more preferable to the previous style. If, like me, you were ever worried about coming into this game from God of War 1, 2 and 3, I'd say don't be. There's still a lot of room for aggressive play, and I think the actual thinking about how to approach the fights is really fun. There's other things to mention, just like how beautiful and varied all the realms look, all the different realms. I think mocap has basically been perfected at this point in time, so everyone looks and acts amazing. The voice acting's incredible. Special shout out to Christopher Judge, who took over the role of Kratos. He didn't play him in the first three.
I didn't know that.
So he took over the role and then for some reason decided to give one of the best acting performances of all time. And the music is crazy good as well, done by Bear McCreary, who's an insanely talented composer. I think he was a TV guy at this point. I don't think he'd done much sort of film work, but obviously he's now since gone on to do really big movies like the Godzilla film and what have you. It's also just a really incredibly well put together game from top to bottom. I only really have one complaint, and that's that a lot of the bosses in the game are the same copy and pasted troll boss, which gets a little boring. There's still enough other bosses to be entertaining, but they're kind of the big bosses at the end of a whole section. All the bosses within each section are this like troll boss, and there's like another earth spirit kind of boss. It just felt like when they were sat round discussing it, they were like, oh, we need a boss for the end of this little bit, and they just settled on, let's just copy and paste that troll boss. And there might be a reason for it lore-wise, but it felt a bit lazy to me. Then they sort of remedy it in the second game anyway, but yeah, I think that's the only way this game could have been better. I could talk about this game all day, and if we were a bigger channel who could afford to devote more time to videos, I'd probably like to do a full retrospective. But until that day comes, Ollie, you better ask me a question.
Would you recommend God of War 2018 for people hunting platinum trophies?
Probably not.
No?
No, it's just a bit too big. It's really the game itself is big, but then getting all the trophies it's just an enormous challenge. If you obviously play and love this game, then of course get the platinum, because it's just seeing and doing more of the game, which is never bad if you love a game. But if you just have to platinums for the number, then I think it's just such a massive thing to take on. There's the main game, then there's the side stories, then there's the Valkyrie fights, which are rock hard, then there's all the collectibles, which there's a hell of a lot of them, and then there's also like the Niflheim section and stuff, which is a bit of a chore to do. So if you just go in for the number, I'd say avoid this one. But if you do love this game, then yeah, the platinum's worth getting. Just to play though, I mean, I think I've already hammered that point home, that I think it is very much worth playing. I cannot overstate it. It's genuinely one of the best video game stories of all time. And I won't be arguing. I mean, you know, if you don't think it is, leave your comment, obviously, but I just don't think I would ever, I don't think anyone could argue me round to say it's not. I cannot imagine a day that will come. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Boy.
Goodbye.
Yours is better than mine. It's well annoying.